Celebrity Catwalk. As promised, I have a great fashion show for you, courtesy of Rebarkable Wags by Miss JoAnna Cologne. Thank you, JoAnna, for coming back to spend some time with us.
Oh, thank you for having us back.
Of course, of course. We have all these designs. You promised to tell me about your favorite piece.
Yes.
But we're going to get to that.
Yes.
So who should we start off with first?
Well, we're going to start off with Lexi.
Lexi.
Lexi over here is a battle warrior angel, and she has her beautiful wings and all these colors of the galactic force of the universe, and she brings light into the world. And this was for the New York Pet Fashion Show. The themes were angels and demons, and my choice was to make our beautiful pups into warrior angels because they battle every day for us to keep us happy. They work real hard to make us happy because we have them on the runway. And Lexi is sporting this beautiful piece, which is recycled leather. The leather on this is all from recycled pieces that I had accumulated, and we have also some plastic, I guess, foam core that we recycled to turn her wheeler into a chariot. Wow. So yeah, we really went out for Lexi. And as you can see, you know, we can't go without doing the bling because the bling says everything for the beautiful girls. And she's such a beautiful baby. And I had a lot of fun with making the mask, as you can see, this one and that one there. And this is Lexi, and you should see her as she wheels off on this. She is like, she's definitely going somewhere. Yes, and Lexi has her own Instagram, so you can find her on Instagram.
So is this one piece that comes off, or how did it come together? Did you start with the wings?
Actually, it's two pieces. The wing is one separate piece. So the wing is harnessed underneath the dress, and so this way you can still see the beauty of the wings and all the detail on that, as well as the extra bling that's on the top on the bodice piece of the dress. Yeah, so we put a lot of little crystals in there, and to just make her shine. She doesn't really need anything to shine because she shines all on her own. She's a wonderful baby.
Now this is blinging on its own. Like there's lights coming out from back here too. You installed
light
system.
The lights are all sewn on by hand. It's a string of lights, and basically what I do, I have 3 different strings, and they all attach to a battery pack. That the battery pack is under her wheeler, so it's velcroed onto the wheeler. And it has different settings. You know, you can go the blink, which I like the most. You could go with a straight sign, or just a straight light up, and then the third setting basically is it's a light soft blink. But I like the flashing blink.
I like the flashing one too.
Me too, yeah. Well, she's flashy, so she should have the flashing blink.
She likes the flashing blink.
Yes.
Feathers? Did you paint the feathers?
No, those I did not paint. Those was just, I pull out the colors that were inside the fabric itself, and I wanted all that galactic color. And because she's white, you know, the lavender and the purples just look so good on her. That's another thing that I look at when I'm designing for a dog. I look at the color of the dog, and immediately I can tell. I know what colors I would want to put on that dog to bring out their natural colors. And because she's a canvas, she's a blank canvas, I could do anything, but the lavender does look good on her.
It sure does, Miss Thing.
Yes, and we'll get to you in just a minute. He's calling my attention here. Me.
She's like, oh, that's so funny.
Oh, I love you.
We'll meet her pet mom when she comes back, because I want to talk to her a little bit. So who's next, or what's
We've got Puccini here, the amazing Yorkie Poo. This is Puccini, the amazing Yorkie Poo. Puccini is, oh gosh, he is a pro at all of this. Yes, he's been in front of the camera. Oh gosh, how long? How many years has he been in front of the camera?
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
You want to come right here?
Yes.
Right here? Front and center.
Yes. And Puccini is wearing this copper capelet coat, and the reason for that is in our theme of our battle angels, Puccini he is the conductor, and that's why we put copper on him, because copper is an electrical conductor.
I remember you said that.
Yes, and because he is the conductor and he does that electricity with us, that's why you saw Lexi would light up. So that was all thought through, all these different things. But this is his detail coat. His coat has double tails.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So if it flaps in the
Yes,
in the
and then
breeze,
he does
so
have
bad.
his mechanical backpack with his wings, because he really is a time traveler angel, and this
there are
is
little
all the
rockets.
details. Yes, he's got little rockets.
So he goes faster.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. And the color, as you can see, it just works beautiful with his golden color hair. And Puccini just works it really well. He's very good looking in all of that.
Wow.
Yes.
See, this looks, I want to ask how long it takes, because it looks kind of simple, but I know better than that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of handwork on this one. All the extra details have to be sewn on by hand. And so, yeah, so everything, all you see, we sewed on chain on top of the trims, and then we put the little conches on the ends. Same thing here. And then if you look at the front,
Yeah, I just noticed the front.
look at the front details on this. This is so pretty. And these were recycled bracelets.
Oh, cool.
Yes, yes, only because of the colors. They worked really, really well with the copper. So I wanted to keep him going with his copper color. And then this is the hat, yes, okay. And yes, I know it's made out of leather, but it is recycled leather. I promise you, it's all recycled pieces.
Doing good, doing good.
Yes, and this is the amazing Puccini in his beautiful capelet coat and tails, representing the conductor in our Battle Angels theme.
So this is a two-piece, one-piece.
This is a one piece.
One
It's all
piece.
one piece. Yes, it's all one piece.
I don't know why that always it fascinates me. I'm like, how do you get that on and get it off? But it just,
Yeah, it just snaps on in the front.
Show you?
Sure, let's show it. Yes,
Okay.
let's get him naked.
JoAnna's pieces are always so easy because she uses snaps instead of Velcro, which scares some dogs
yeah.
sometimes.
And you don't want it to
So she uses
attach to the
these
fur either.
Yes,
simple little
yeah.
snaps.
I like using the snaps. I prefer snaps rather than Velcro.
Oh, so it's like a little vest, like
Yeah.
a Superman.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only separate piece.
Yeah, his wings come off. That's a separate piece.
You have a wing pack there.
Wow.
And you can see how beautiful and easy this is for the dogs to get on. See? So,
See, this is very lightweight.
Yes,
This,
yes.
I don't know why I thought it would be.
No,
I don't know, it just looks,
no.
Copper has like a very heavy looking kind of.
And if you see the pack, the rockets on it, actually what those rockets were, they were these tiny little soda bottles that were lip gloss, and I took them and I painted them and attached them on, and because they were perfect.
So cute. I was wondering what that was.
It's so funny. I even have my son, sometimes he'll see something and says, "Mom, I bet you can use this." I'm like, "I bet you I can."
but even off of Puccini, it's beautiful.
Yes,
So pretty.
yes,
It's a piece
yes.
all on its own.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that really has, the piece has so much character to it, and there's so much going on that it really is a nice conversational piece too.
It's incredible. This is even two-sided because sometimes when you pull stuff up, it's like, let's
Oh no,
line.
you got to line it, you have to
Yeah.
line it, yes, yes, it's important.
Incredible. Wow. This is so beautiful. Okay, you can get dressed again. Thank you for showing me.
You're very, very welcome,
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And now I would like to introduce to you Roman.
Roman.
Roman is sporting what I say is the New Year's stud. Okay, he's the New Year's stud. He's such a handsome guy. And Roman is very new to Celebrity Catwalk. This is his debut.
Oh, welcome, Roman.
Yes.
Do we have a celebrity catwalk?
Yes,
Welcome.
and he is wearing this beautiful vest and the bow tie, velvet bow tie that's attached to it. And the velvet bow tie coordinates with the sash belt around his waistline, and a lot of hand detail. I love doing a lot of hand detail. Hi, handsome.
Embroidery.
Actually, this is 3D flowers, you know, sewn on, as well as the emblem patch. And the emblem patch is 3-4 pieces that I put together. And if you look at this shiny fabric, it's at the bottom, but at the bottom I have a mesh over it to give a contrast in the color. And I love playing with fabrics this way.
Wow.
So I'll put mesh over a fabric to just give I'll pop another color right on top of that fabric color, and it just looks really good. Yes. And the inspiration was the print that's on the piece. And I chose these colors because look at him. He's so handsome.
He's so dapper.
Yes. And I love that little brown nose. That's why we've got the gold inside there too, to just pull that out too.
And the top hat and the sunglasses.
Yes. Well,
Love that.
you know, this is his first time, but I think he's going to be a real pro at this.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
I can
he's
see it
so
already.
good. Look at him.
He's ready.
He really, yes, he is. He's ready. He's so ready.
He doesn't need any doggy treats or anything. He is just...
No.
He's made for this.
I know, that's what I said when I saw him. I saw his father at one of our doggy cafes, and I said, that dog needs to be on the runway. His face just says it all. So yeah, so he's with Celebrity Catwalk, so this is his first debut with us here today, but he will be featured on Celebrity Catwalk for their holiday edition.
Yay!
And he'll be sporting this, and he's the only one that's got the new year. He's bringing in the new year because he's just a stud. He's supposed to. He just has to.
That's definitely the vibe that I got. New year, new me, new doggy.
Yes.
For sure. For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can go this way.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Now this
And-
one, obviously.
Yeah, this is our last one. This is the best one for the last, and I'll go into details with that. But in the meantime, what I'd like to share with you is this piece here. I'm going to put her down here, and she'll sit fine. Wait for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. She's caught. We got caught on you. We're going to take this. Let's do this. Give you a break here. This piece here was a bridal piece. And my husband and I, we said our vows and got married 2 years ago. And thank you. And I wanted a beautiful piece for my baby. So this is what I designed for her. And I love silver, so. And because we got married in Costa Rica and it was a beach wedding, she didn't wear the bottom piece the whole time. She put on this piece. She had to change, so she wore, this is the top piece, which is worn like this. And this can be worn alone, and it comes with a pair of panties. It's floating around there somewhere. And then she put on her wings because she was the wing bearer. Yes, and this is her little tropical floral crown that she wore with it. So what I like about this particular piece that I design, and what I like to do when I am designing, is if it's a long piece, I want to do 2 pieces. I want the dog to be able to wear this alone without the gown piece because it's comfortable. And she's worn this to so many events, and every time she wears it, I get people like, wow, wow, that's so beautiful. So I started getting orders. But I love working with lace, and I like the see-through for the doggies too.
There's lace, there's sequins, there's even
Yes, and
Swarovski crystals?
I love working with jewelry. My father was a jewelry designer, and he worked in the Diamond Jewelry District for over 40 years. So we were very spoiled little girls. We wore jewelry all the time. Mommy was the spoiled the most, but we wore lots of jewelry. And I'm always inspired. I like to put jewelry on my pieces. As you can see, even with that, and her neck piece and the dress that she's wearing underneath, it has a lot of jewelry. And I just, you know, without having to spend all this money and buy all this excess trimming stuff that's so expensive, it's cheaper to buy a jewelry piece and sew it on.
This is true.
And the jewelry,
since it's upcycled.
and the jewelry pieces too. Yes, and the jewelry pieces too. And that's another thing I shop for when I go to the thrift shops is I look for the jewelry pieces so that I can take them and apply them and put them on my pieces. So yes.
So many ideas. Do you start with the under layer first, the inner layer first?
Actually, I started with this piece first. I knew that I was going to do just the tulle, and I wanted the middle piece to just pop out and stand out. And because she's so small, I can't do a lot and take away from the beauty that's in her already. So I try to keep, and do everything tiny and petite. That's why I said sometimes I want a bigger dog because I want to put more detail in it. Yes. So, and because she's a little dog, I can only put just enough detail to make her sparkle and shine.
And the wings?
Yeah, and the wings were a lot of fun. As you can see, I took the same lace that I would put on the borders and I bordered it with the lace. Sewed on a little bit of flowers. I love flowers. I love ribbons. I love it all. And some really soft feather. And actually I took one boa feather, actually it was an ostrich feather, and carefully slid it right down the middle so that I can get it to curve so that it would fit on here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so design takes, you've got to really think it. There's a lot of math into it. There's a lot of thinking, a lot of planning. And like I said, research is always important. If you want to present a piece for a certain theme or an era, you should do your research because the piece should not only look good, should also speak it and speak that. And that's I guess that's why you have theatrical is. No, I would have done crazy working in the theater just making costumes. I probably wouldn't have slept at night because the wheels would have just kept turning and turning. I do get most creative at night. So my husband's like, okay, I'm going to bed. Bye. I'll see you in the morning.
So when you say the research, you're looking up online or in books like how to make or how to cut an ostrich feather, or what exactly?
Actually, yeah. Well, see, something like that. I'm like, I wanted to do it, and I wanted to make sure because I knew in my mind that there's certain ways to cut feathers so that you get it to curl the way that you want it to. So yes, I had to do my research to find that. Because I didn't want to just sew them on one by one or glue them on, and I try not to do a lot of gluing. I don't like a lot of the glue. I like more.
I noticed you've been saying a lot of sewing.
A lot of hand sewing.
A lot of hand sewing. Obviously keeps it on the garment a lot longer.
Yes.
Gluing is so easy.
It was just something that my mother taught me as a little girl, and my mother made the most beautiful wedding gowns. That was my mother's passion. She makes everything and anything, but when she had to commission for a wedding gown, she was happy because my mother loved sewing on crystals. She loved sewing on the pearls and the bugle beads, all of that. She loved doing that. That was a passion. And I have it. It's in me too.
I see.
I'm a carbon copy of my mom, I guess. And so I love doing it. And it's therapeutic. Just like somebody would pick up needles, crocheting and stuff like that. It really is therapeutic. So I don't mind. The sun will come up in the morning and I'm still sewing. And I'm like, oh, that's a reminder. I better go to bed.
Yes, get some rest.
Get some rest. But, the night was wonderful. Because I did.
You stole the show with this piece, didn't you?
This piece here, yes. Actually, she came down the aisle and everybody thought it was just the cutest little thing. But it was very easy because my sister was holding her. She says, I want mommy, I want daddy, I want mommy. Aww. So she had no trouble coming down the aisle. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Let's move on to maybe you could tell me about the next piece.
And I'm going to share with you what Lexi is coming out to wear. Lexi is back with us. Hi. And you can put her on the chair here. Yes, okay. And Lexi is wearing this piece, which I titled as My Fuchsia Butterfly. The inspiration for this piece was this black and white that you see right here.
That was the first thing I noticed.
Yes.
Just kind of
it pops right out.
Yes.
That was the inspiration. This here is a party dress that my niece donated to Rebarkable Wags. And when she gave it to me, I was like, ooh, I could do so much with that because the color is very neutral and you could just work it anywhere. But I love that it worked well for the wings on this dress, which is the butterfly.
So beautiful.
Yes. And like I said, jewelry.
Ooh.
Always jewelry. Okay, and that's jewelry pieces all along in here. And this is a very simple dress because it ties in the front. There's no Velcro, no snaps, and underneath it ties. So it ties into a real pretty bow that it doesn't distract the dog. It's not dragging on the floor. And as you can see, Lexi is wearing a pretty little hat because I also like to accessorize and make the hats. And I do make sunglasses for the doggies as well too. You'll see that in a little while. And that's what this piece is. And I just love the color in this piece. It's just so bright and so cheerful. And the touch of the black is just a very elegant piece. So, and I know that this one has been on the Celebrity Catwalk before, and Chuchi was wearing it one time. But I love it, and it's just the colors. It's just a beautiful piece.
It's very bright, eye-catching.
Yes, it does.
How do you choose which colors? I know you said you use the pup as your canvas, but...
well, with the color on the dress, like I said, this was my inspirational piece. And I said, well, you know what, let me try something in a hot pink. And then when I put hot pink next to it,
with hot pink.
I know you can't, you really can't. But then when I put the hot pink next to it, I said to myself, hot pink is just too expected. So I said, why don't I go with a fuchsia?
Ooh.
Because that's a different kind of a pink. And I just loved it. I loved the fuchsia with the black and the white. Just bringing it out.
Was that another dress that was donated, or was this?
Actually, this was a fabric scraps that someone had passed on to me. So I said, okay, I can use that. Yes.
And the lace on the hem?
And the lace on the hem is basically, usually I spend most of my money on the trimmings, and that's just trimming that was purchased. Now, the can, this here, if you're looking at it, the can on this dress was a little girl's tutu.
Oh.
So it was a child's tutu, and I loved it. So I liked it because the netting on it was a very strong netting, so I knew that it would puff up the dress, and it doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it, and it came with the trimming already on it. So I was like, oh, perfect. Let's work for me. That's another reason why I do like using the recycle pieces, because they are beautiful pieces and they're already made. So why go through the trouble wasting more thread and this and that? And it works. And if it works, why not?
Why not? It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Thank
it
you.
goes nice with her wheelchair.
Yes, yes, with her pink chair.
Pink wheelchair.
Yes, so thank you, Lexi. Lexi's doing really, really well.
Lexi.
So well.
See you in a few. Who's next?
And now we have Puccini's coming back to us.
Ooh.
Yes.
Puccini is ready for...
Drag.
Yeah,
I was
Puccini's
going to say the opera or tango.
is Phantom of the Opera. This is my Phantom of the Opera design, which was designed for the New York Pet Fashion Show.
Ooh.
And the theme was Broadway. So,
that.
yes, the theme was Broadway, and I chose to do Phantom of the Opera. Actually, that was given to me, and I said, oh, great, because I love working with ribbons. I'm sorry. I said, I love working with, I love working with ribbons. You can go on that side, he wants you. And as you can see, this rose that's on the dress, it's all handmade by me. I used ribbon and fabrics just to make that one single rose. It was the single rose that was given to her by the Phantom. And then the little hat. And as you can see, it's just the fabric is like this.
Pretty.
Wow. And this here, I guess, is my handpiece. If you can see this, I took the fabric and had it pin it here and pin it there so that I can make rose rosettes out of the fabric itself. So it's not just this. I needed to give a splash of this to just give you that balance. And I love this piece. It's just it. And then of course the velvet. And then this is our beautiful model modeling Phantom of the Opera. Yes. And then jewelry again around the neck. I love the jewelry. Yes, you got to use the bling. The bling is important, very important to have a lot of bling.
And this rose?
And this is the rose. This is made of, there's 2 shades of green for the ribbons. And then this here is called cotton velvet. And what I like about the cotton velvet is that you can cut it, it doesn't fray. Yes. Yes, giving you that high five.
Like
yes.
high fives, yeah.
So, and then the little hat is made out of a silk, real touch silk flower.
Very cool.
Yes.
And how does this one? This is also snaps as well.
This one, actually, this one has a Velcro.
Velcro.
Yeah, this one, when I made this was made for a rescue dog who was going to be on the runway. I didn't know the dog, so I was given measurements. And then I said, well, I always like to give some leeway, just in case. And so I said, I'm just going to do the Velcro, but I'm going to do it differently so that if I need to stretch it, I can do it this way. So when I made it, people like, the lady who was doing, she says, I can't figure this one out. I says, yeah, let me do it for you. Because there was a reason why I made it this way. And I didn't use the snaps on this one because it was a dog I didn't know. I couldn't get a perfect fit on him. And then what happened was the dog did not show up because we had a snowstorm that day.
That's right.
So they couldn't come with the dog. So we picked a dog in the audience and put it on him. So this dress has only been worn as drag. The first time it was worn by a male dog. But Puccini's so beautiful. You can put anything on him. You can put anything on him. He's just so beautiful.
Give me some ideas from Broadway and the opera.
Yes. Yes.
So how this is very substantial.
Yeah, this is, yes, it's lined. This particular piece, when I made the dress, I said, you know what, it's not a piece that's commissioned. It's not a piece I'm really looking to sell. So I didn't want to cut the fabric off too much. That's why I made it extra long. And then I even tucked in the extra fabric. So when I want to make another piece, I have the fabric here to make the piece. So no waste, no waste. Yes, yes, yeah. So yeah, that can be turned into 2 different dresses. That one piece can be 2. So
you've been thinking for the future.
I do a lot. Well, when I make showpieces, because they're just showpieces, I was like, okay, I'm going to show it. I'm going to get a lot of pictures, as many pictures as I can, wear it as many times as I possibly get it worn. But then now I'm going to repurpose it, and I'm going to turn that one piece into 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces. Yes, yes.
This keeps being used.
Yeah, and then it's easier to sell because it's not that elaborate and the price is right for people.
Right.
Yes, but this is a beautiful piece. I love it. I'm just very happy with it.
Are there 100 roses on here?
Oh my goodness, I don't know how many roses are in here. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Puccini.
Say high five to that. Yeah. High five. Say high five, JoAnna.
High five. Thank you, Puccini.
All right.
There you go. Thank you. Yes. So we got Lexi. This is Candy.
Oh, Candy.
This is Lexi's sister, Candy.
We have a little bit
Candy. Okay.
put her up here like this.
Okay, we could put her up here like this. Candy is wearing a dress that was designed for a cotillion event, and I wanted to go with something short and rather than something long, and I wanted to go with a nice soft color. And so I chose this real pretty, it's a lavender. It almost looks like a pink, but it really is a lavender. It's a combination. The lace was my inspiration. The lace piece, which was a remnant piece, I only had enough to do a really small dress anyway. But I love the colors because it had a cream with the lavender, And I was like, oh, that's so pretty. It's so soft. It's perfect for a little dog. And so that's what I did with this one here. This here has, as you can see, it has jewelry pieces. This was part of a bracelet. I have a lot of jewelry on here. Another jewelry piece here. And the neckline on this one here has there's even a beautiful necklace that attaches to it. And the necklace can come off too. She could wear the necklace at another piece, so it has more than one purpose with. So the necklace can come off and be worn by itself.
I like how you think.
Yes.
You can wear different outfits as long as the color scheme is the same, and
Yes.
you can always wear it.
Yes, and a lot of my pieces, as I try to do, is I try to give it so that it has more than one purpose for it. As you can see, here we go. Let's get this one out there like that.
Wow.
And the lace is all sewn on by hand, the appliques. So I guess that's one of the things that a lot of people that see my stuff want, and they're like, oh, you and your appliques, and but I love it. I love my appliques, but they love it too. So like, yes, so
out.
someone will say to me, please put appliques on mine.
Now they're begging.
Now they're begging for the appliques. But I love this piece. I love the color. The color is very, very different than what you would see anywhere else. Most people would want to think pink. Most people might go with a deeper lavender. I wanted to go with something that was extremely soft. So you give that soft look.
Yes.
Yes.
Very feminine.
Yes.
How long does it take you to do this particular?
The only thing that's really time consuming is the hand sewing.
Okay.
So sewing all this on and then sewing the beads on, but basically sewing the applique. I first sew the applique onto tulle so that it has the strength.
The weight, yes.
And then I know where I want to lay it out on the tulle, and then that goes on the garment, and then I would cut the tulle off where I don't want it. And as this one, as you can see, I cut all this tulle off, but I left tulle in the middle. Again, I like to use my mesh and my tulle and on top of my fabrics to just give it that extra texture look. Yes.
A fine job.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
you. Great. And now we have Lexi's going to be joining us one more time. Lexi is wearing what is our
Let's skip right to
holiday season? Yeah. Okay, we can skip to that one. I'm going to take this off for her so she's more comfortable.
Well, actually, we can't get to this garment right now. So sorry, but thank you for walking me through all of the costumes today. Thank you so much. You're so talented.
Thank you.
Appliques, jewelry, flowers. I have a lot of favorites now.
Yeah, this happens to be my favorite one of all.
I know.
This was the big job, and it was months and months of work.
Showstopper. This is like another show on its own.
Yeah, this here to me is like a museum piece, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
That's a good idea. Thank you, JoAnna, for joining us today, and thank you to all the models.
Thank you.
See you guys next time for another episode of Celebrity Catwalk. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.